So I had a YouTuber comment on my video that I made about the battery tenders not working, and he referred me to a website by the company that makes these Red Top batteries here. Let's see if they got their sticker, Optima. And what they said to do when you got a battery like this that won't take a charge is hook another battery to it that's hot and then put the charger on it, and because he said a charger won't kick in if the battery is lower than a certain amount of amps. And I checked the amps on this one. It's low, but I can't tell you what it is because I can't read these numbers on this little tiny amp meter here, even with a flashlight. They're too tiny, even with my glasses. But what I did was I checked the amps on this rat rod battery, which has been plugged in to a battery tender ever since we left. I said rat rod, but it's the Studebaker, the hot rod. And they were much higher than the amps on that other one. That Red Top did have some amperage. So what I did was I ran a set of jumper cables from the rat rod battery, hot rod battery, which was hot, to the Optima battery, which was not hot. When I did that, the battery tender started to work properly. What I mean by that is, you see how that one is blinking? That little green blink means it's charging. And I've actually got two battery tenders hooked onto that. The other one is this one, which is still giving me kind of an F code. What they said at the Optima place was to, after you hook your batteries this way, put a battery charger on that one. And the only battery charger I got is a big old monster that charges like high. And I've got a small one over here, but I had rigged up the wiring in an odd sort of way. This says 8 amps. That'd probably be a perfect one to use for it. And I had disconnected the clamps off the back of this thing. And at this point, I don't know if I could determine which one was supposed to be hot and which one was supposed to be cold or not, but I've got some clamps over here. So what I might do is, while I'm letting that do what it's doing back there, is see if I can figure out. I think I was using these clamps for a kind of like a little mini jumper cable thing, but I think they may be the clamps that came right off of that. Let's see what we got here. I know y'all ain't looking at what I'm looking at because I'm got my hand on the camera holding the charger cables, but let's just there. That's what I'm looking at. Now, let's set this over here where we can all look at it. I'll just set it on that thing right there. Okay, so I got these two here, and these are, that one's got a red line on it. Oh, they both do. Okay, so that's got a red line on it. So did these have a red line on either one of them? No. So they're not the ones that came off of there, but they are. Those are going to be the right lines. It's just that I won't know which one's hot and which one's cold if I hook these to it. Howsoever, it's doable. What I may do is just put the clamps on there, plug that one in. When they're hooked right, it'll start charging. So I may do that. And take the other battery tenders off. I'm going to put y'all down while I play with this. By the way, I dropped my camera this morning. I think I almost broke it. It was getting where it was sticking. This thing has a bunch of little adjusters on the gimbal, and but if I plug it in and wiggle it around a little bit, it works. So this battery is charging now, not much, but it is charging some. And I figured out that the hot wire is the shorter wire here. Now I'm doing this for my own benefit, although what I'm going to try to do is see if I can find a little red paint and put a dab of red paint on that, and then I can hook these two wires better. I can make a better wire for this. The reason I know that is because when I reversed them, I got a spark show here. Luckily, I didn't blow any fuses or burn up the thing, so it's still working. So there is a flow of energy going into these batteries over here now. I did go ahead and disconnect one of the battery tenders. I may go ahead and connect the other one back to it just for a little extra surge. In fact, I can do that right now. Okay, so now I've got this battery tender and this battery charger charging into that battery, which is also being backed up by the hot rod battery over here, which also has a battery tender on it. So I'm gonna leave this overnight. This is it's 15 degrees this morning. I think it's gotten up to 19, so it's pretty darn cold out here. So I don't think that's a lot of flow going in there, but a little flow going in there would be worth quite a lot. These are my old bad battery terminals here. You can see how much naked wire I got on here. And I was thinking about using some of that spray-on plastic coat to try to insulate those. But for right now, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to leave it all alone and just walk away from here